All right. Good morning. I am here. You're not. No one's here. It is what it is. Well, while I wait for people to show up, I think I'll have some breakfast. Got a late start today. Got was really busy on the radio this morning. I'm eating BBs. If you don't know what BBs are, make sure you check in. It's really interesting how this live stream works, I think. People on YouTube kind of get an announcement or something happens, someone comes in, and then they disappear. So they must not like what they see. Oh my gosh. If you're here, I'm Tim Carter. This is the Ask the Builder channel. I live stream. This may be the last live stream I do on a Saturday morning for a long time. If you have any questions about your home, about anything, how to fix it, how to, maybe you're thinking about buying a product or a tool, just ask it in the chat. Hello, Elaine. Good morning. Go ahead and just type your question in the chat. It could be a comment, could be a question, doesn't matter what it is. We try to stay on topic here. Sometimes I wander off topic. And anyway, so if you've got a question about your home, go ahead and type it in. It doesn't, if you don't have one, that's okay too. I've been trying this Saturday morning live stream was an experiment to try to see if we could get more Europeans, but I don't necessarily think it's a good idea because in England right now it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so people are busy on Saturday afternoons. They're not going to sit around their houses and watch some guy in the United States, I don't think. Hi Jack, how you doing? Good morning. So and then it's too early for everybody else in the United States. I mean, for goodness sake, the sun has not even come up yet on the left coast. I mean, the sky is just starting to brighten out there. Come on, 2 minutes after 5 in the morning. The sun is now rising here at where I live in New Hampshire, central New Hampshire. The sun comes up above the hills across the lake. I'd say about 5:40 this morning would be my guess. I'd have to look at my thing, but it's pretty. By the time we get to the solstice this June, June 21st or 2nd, the sun's up. I mean, the sun is up at like 1 minute after 5. It's crazy. I mean, it's bright enough outside to almost read a newspaper at 4:15 in the morning. Crazy. All right. Enough about that. If you have any questions about your home, go ahead and ask them now. Maybe there's a product that you want to use and you're not sure of it, ask about it. I'm going to talk just very briefly about this new feature that YouTube turned on to this channel. They turned it on to a lot of people. They had been beta testing it at least 6 months, could be longer, probably 9 months. It's called Super Thanks. There's also here in the live stream another thing I've turned on called Super Chat and Super something else. I don't know. There's just you evidently, I can't see it because I've got a different dashboard than what you're looking at, but you have the ability, I think, somewhere over in the chat. Oh yeah, maybe it's right there. I see a dollar sign. Yeah, exactly. What do you know? I do see it. Down at the bottom, at least on my screen, there's a emoticon thing, there's a dollar sign block, and then there is a create a poll. So you can, if you like what you hear during the live stream, you can support the stream, and that's cool. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to do two things. It's going to allow me to do more streams, and I can start to do streams about things that you want me to cover. Right. So that's kind of a cool thing. That's YouTube is getting better. They're not the best, but they're making it possible so people like me don't do these live streams and waste time. All right. So that's that button down at the bottom is new. I had not seen that before. Yes, exactly. That's exactly right, Elaine. So that is if you hover your mouse over it, a little window opens up that says show your support for Ask the Builder. All right. So you can do that during a live stream. But here's what's really cool is on all of my other videos that I've had up on YouTube for years, I was the original home improvement channel on YouTube. Hey Frank, how you doing? They have now at the bottom of the video, you can see a in capital letters the word thanks, and then next to it is a heart with a dollar sign in it. And that does the same thing, meaning if you're out on YouTube, you're watching one of my videos and you go, "Wow, man, you just saved me 5,000 bucks." Woo! Holy tomato. And some of my videos can do that. Some of my videos can save you 5,000, 10,000, a lot of money. So you might go, "You know what? I'm going to give you 1%, a 1% tip." Awesome. You can do that. And just try it. You can try it and see how it works. Really, really pretty cool. Okay, Jack, I'm going to answer that question in a second. The the whole point is so that you know, and I'll say it here. If this starts to take off, I've really held back. I'll be honest with you. I have not invested in any of the video equipment for years because I was really disappointed with the revenue from YouTube. It's you would think that it's a lot of money. It's not. And I'll give you an example. I can go into my channel and I can look at my analytics. I can see everything. Well, I take that back. As far as transparency, YouTube and Google are the worst. All right, they're absolutely the worst. But I can at least do the mathematics to say, okay, here's a video X. I can actually look at that video and I can see how many times it's been viewed and what the revenue is on that video. And you can also see that across the whole channel. You can get a channel-wide average. So what if I told you that for on average, each video that I do, every time a video is viewed by somebody, it doesn't matter who it is on YouTube, I only get 0.6 of 1 penny. All right. So not even a penny, just a little over half of a penny. All right. So that means if you do the math, if you're good at math, let's just say it's a half a penny to make it easy. You have to get 100,000 views to make $500. Now, some videos go viral, some like dancing babies and all, they may have 1 million views or 1 billion views, whatever. Well, not home improvement videos. They don't go viral. All right. It doesn't happen. It could take me on average 6, 7, 8 years to get 100,000 views on a particular video. All right. So if you wanted to hire somebody, if you wanted to hire a videographer and do videos the right way, in other words, if I really wanted to do a production and really wanted to crank out videos, what you would do is you would hire a videographer. You'd have to have a post-production person to actually, make the videos after you give them all the raw footage. You'd have to have a grip. You have to have somebody on the site who's moving stuff around. I mean, I've done this before. I've worked in a professional environment making my videos. I know what it's all about. That's why most of the videos you see on YouTube are crappy. They're horrible because the people are just holding their flipping smartphones up and the phone's shaking and they don't zoom in. They don't know what cutaway shots are, blah, 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 blah. I could go on and on and on. So if you want to get really professional videos, you have to make it worth the while of the person creating the videos. All right. So that's nothing about this is hard. Nothing about this is hard. We should put that on a golf ball. Elaine says, I don't have the ability to donate to you. Just super chat or highlight it. I'll send you the screenshot. Yes, I'm going to have to, I can click this myself, but I don't want to do it right now. I'm going to wait. I don't want to blow up the stream. So I'm not going to click that button myself. All right. So anyway, I'm just saying it's just like anything else. You tip waitresses, you tip valet parkers, right? You may tip your barber or a hairstylist. Why wouldn't this is a rhetorical question. I'm not trying to beg for money. I'm just saying I'm trying to train people. I'm trying to say, why wouldn't you tip a video creator who just helped you save a ton of money? I mean, it just makes sense. All right. All right. So Jack, why buy quarter tools? So I wrote a column about this, Jack. It's appearing nationwide this week. Here's the column, and it's got all the answers to your questions. Well, it's got a lot of them, but I'm going to go over it for you. I'm trying to pull it up. Here we go. That's a great question, by the way. I'm trying to pull up the. There we go. This is why. See, if I had enough people watching the stream, I mean, a lot of people, and people were donating, I would have. If you've ever watched the big people on, I watched a video of Denise D'Souza this past week, watching how he does his podcast. It's a true production. I mean, he's got a beautiful setup, beautiful studio, got 2 cameras running. He's got a floor director. He's got somebody, no doubt, running the software behind the scenes. I mean, he's got like 3 or 4 people there. All right. Each of those people, I mean, on average, the cost of each person has got to be $30 an hour. All right. $120 an hour, maybe $200 an hour cost. So in other words, he's not going to pay that out of his pocket. Are you kidding me? You gotta, advertisers, blah, 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 blah. But if you're just say I'm going to teach you something about this, then Jack, we're going to talk about this. In my newsletter, I got a bunch of pushback about a month and a half ago when I announced on my newsletter list that I was going to release the test results for what I think is probably the best deck sealer out there. But that if you wanted to know what it was, you had to pay for it. Just like you would go pay for, if you wanted to go watch a movie, you're going to pay for it. All right. If you want a loaf of bread, you got to go pay for it. All right. But all these people thought I should do it for free. And they said, well, just get an advertiser. Just get the company that you think is really good to support it. It's really funny. When I hear comments like that, I go, it's very obvious that you've never had a conversation with a marketing manager for a corporation. Because here's how it goes. So when the marketing manager for a corporation goes for his annual job review, or maybe they do it twice a year, I don't know. I've never worked in that environment, but I know that, like, my son tells me about it because he gets reviewed all the time. So here's the president of the corporation or the vice president of human resources talking to the marketing manager. Goes, well, we saw that you spent half of your $2.5 million budget for this year. You've already spent it, and you spent it with you gave the Builder guy $100,000, and we look at the results and we can't even see one sale from it. So you gave the Builder guy $100,000, and he ran these commercials and he did all the things right. He linked to it. We checked all that. We checked it, but there's not one sale. So in other words, basically you wasted $100,000. So you're fired. I mean, that's how it works in the real world, just so you know. All right. So anyway, let's talk about Jack. Why buy corded tools? All right, folks, let's go. Let's talk about this. Corded tools. Corded tools, very interesting. It's a one-time fee. You pay one time. That's it. Don't pay any more. 120 volt power is pretty reliable for the most part. I mean, if there's a huge thunderstorm outside, you probably shouldn't be outside cutting using your circular saw. Probably not a good idea. All right. And even if you do lose power, you might have a generator that you use for other purposes. So you can start up your generator and you'll have power to use your tools. All my corded tools, if it's zero outside, if it's zero, and I've had to work in zero weather all day long, as soon as I squeeze the trigger, the saw comes on. Not a problem. Works. The The only thing you need, the only accessory you need with a corded tool, probably need an extension cord, all right? But extension cords, if you take care of them, they last for a long time. The, um all right, so here we go. So we got a bad person. Let me take care of these bad people here. Let's hide this user. All right, so hopefully we will, we're trying to get rid of, so this, Steve told us this was going to happen. All right. So anyway, the, um, I'm distracted by that. Those idiots, flipping idiots. All right. Corded tools work. They work. Simple as that. They work really well. The, uh, cordless tools. When I wrote this column a week ago, I went and did the research like I'm supposed to do. For the example that I picked, I just went ahead. I decided to pick just a circular saw, a nice regular DeWalt circular saw, very popular brand, $144 new for the quarter tool. If I wanted to buy basically the same saw, but in a cordless version, to buy the saw, the battery, the charger, and a soft-sided bag, $306. So I've paid over 100% for the cordless tool. The cordless, if you drop a cordless tool battery, which I have before, I've dropped them by mistake, they go bad. They don't work anymore. Not always, but they can go bad. A replacement battery for that tool last week costed about $110. The cost of the batteries is going to do nothing but go up. You can easily spend $200 for a battery that has a higher amp hour rating. The batteries wear out. All right. You could get, if you're a heavy user, for example, if you're a contractor using cordless tools, a new battery, even if you care for it perfectly, if you care for it really well, maybe you'll get 2 years out of it. Maybe. When it's cold, they don't work very well. I mean, the cold really affects the output of the battery. If you are working when the battery when it's hot or even when it's cold, get this. If the tool loses power, then you immediately start to charge. Then you take it out and you put it in the charger. And if the battery's hot because you've really been using the tool, it goes up. Nope, 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 nope. Sorry, I know you want the charger. Here's what the charger says to you. It does it through blinking lights. It goes, hey, I know you want me to charge the tool. I know you need to use the battery. I got it. But we're not charging the battery right now. Sorry. Battery's too hot. We got to wait for the battery to cool down. And oh, by the way, I don't have any way to tell you this, but you've got this charger sitting in the sun for some reason. I don't know why. It's 100 degrees outside. And I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but if you've taken a temperature of the surface of the charger is like 130 degrees. Are you an idiot? Why do you have this charger in the sun? I mean, it's trying to tell you that, but it can't do it. It's just like you don't understand it. And so you're wondering, the battery's been sitting in the charger for an hour and nothing's happening. Oh, really? Well, because you're adult and because you don't realize the charger's supposed to be in the shade. The charger would love to be 72 degrees. All right. So that's just a few of the little things. All right. So that's why you buy corded tools, and you better buy them now because as time goes on, you're not going to be able to buy them. And then get this. So here's this big push nationally. I could go off the rails here, but I guess I won't. This whole Green New Deal or whatever, all this big push for green energy. It's a big flipping scam. All right. You understand that, right? Because we could cross over to climate change. If you want me to talk about climate change, I will, so anyway, wait till if this whole trend towards electric cars continues, which I have a neighbor who tells me it's going to continue. He lives right up the hill from me. He's an expert in it. That's what he does for a living. You tell me, in other words, if how much lithium is in the batteries in the trunk of a car versus how much lithium is in the battery of of your power tool. You tell me who's going to win that battle. Who's going to win the battle of buying the lithium? Have you ever thought about that? All right, so in other words, the car industry, as a whole, what is the car industry? 100 times bigger in gross annual volume than power tools? Is it 1,000 times bigger? That you can do that research. That's not hard to do. You can find out what the total car, come on. Nothing about this is hard. So the battery that's now $100, what's it going to be in 3 years? Is it going to be $400? And we're not counting inflation. I'm just talking about lithium. So the whole cordless tool thing, I back when it all started, like when it really started to heat up about 15 years ago, I had all these same thoughts, but I just wanted to wait it out and see what would happen. All right. Jack wants to know, did I ever? No, I've never ever in my entire career ever cut a circuit. I've never cut the cord to the saw, and I have never cut an extension cord. I'm proud to say that. I think it's only because I'd like to say that I think ahead. In other words, I'm very conscious where the cords are, very conscious where the extension cords are. Never cut one. I almost once though shot myself in the heart with a nail gun. That was really close. I mean, like so close. So I have had mistakes. I almost cut the tip off my, I think this finger. It's been so long I forget. I think I almost cut the tip off this finger with my miter box saw. All right, can you believe John Deere wants to go batteries for their scuts? I don't know what a scut is. I'm sorry, Elaine. I have SCUT. South Carolina utility trailer. That's the only thing I can think. South Carolina utility trailer. I didn't know they sold them. So scut. So obviously it's a lawnmower. I'm just being a joker here. So anyway, I just so you know, I just got to test. Well, I did a live stream about it last week or the week before. A snapper. I got a snapper lawnmower that's all battery powered. We're going to start testing it. The grass is just now starting to grow here in New Hampshire. So by June, I'll have the test. I'm going to do a video about it. I'm going to show a video. They say it'll last 90 minutes. We'll see. Oh, some subcompact tractors. I got it. All right. Excuse me. So anyway, so it's just crazy. This whole electric thing. I'm just, I'm trying to parse my words a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it's insanity. All right. So I'm going to go off the rails a little bit here. I'm going to go off the rails. And if you have an open mind, you need to, that's good. Good for you. I have a friend of mine. She does not have an open mind, just stubborn as a flipping mule. Here's the truth. First of all, my background, so you know, I know what I'm talking about. So my college degree is in geology, and I had two focuses when I was in school. Crazy, it may seem this way. Hydrogeology, which is the study of groundwater. And boys, that helped me a lot. All right. That's why all the houses I built had dry basements. All right. That's why I've solved tens of thousands of people's dry basement problems with my linear French drain video. And then continental glaciation of all things. So why, you would think, well, why would you study continental glaciation? Here's the crazy thing. Cincinnati, Ohio, which is where I went to college, University of Cincinnati, was like the epicenter. This sounds crazy. I know this is crazy. Was the epicenter of continental glaciation. The second, in the past, just so you know, in the past 2 million years, there have been 4 major continental glaciers here in the North America. All right. So you think 2 million years, that's a long time. Well, it's not really. It's If you want to know anything about time, it's called deep time. In geology, we call it deep time, just like the water is deep. Go read about deep time. It's hard to get your head wrapped around it. Really, really hard. All right. The the second last continental glacier was in Cincinnati. It was called the Illinoisan at the time. They've kind of changed the naming system. The Illinoisan Continental Glacier. All right, think about this. An ice sheet that's up and flipping, starts in the North Pole, completely covers the Arctic, completely covers Canada. I mean, I'm talking ice 3,000 feet thick, all right? Not not 6 inches of snow in your yard, all right? Solid ice, 3,000 feet thick, extends all the way down to flipping Cincinnati, Ohio. It's like a bulldozer, so it's moving slowly. It's pushing all this dirt in front of it. It's filling up all these old valleys. And it gets to Hamilton, Ohio. All right. So Hamilton, Ohio is north of Cincinnati, north and west. And the Ohio River at that time, the Ohio River used to kind of come down where it was and right where Lunkin. I know this means nothing to you. All right. Just trust me. You know how I'll teach you something else about geology. This is kind of cool. Um, maybe you didn't know this. Have you ever looked at a river, especially like the Mississippi, some of these older rivers, and they look like a serpent? They've got this S shape. They've got all these loops and stuff in it. In other words, the rivers don't flow straight. You ever wondered why? Why don't well, here's see, here's what you think. You think that the water flowing in a river, because you look at the top of the river, you're looking at the surface of the water, and you see the water moving like this. It's like moving towards you, like it's just moving downstream. Like if you throw a branch or throw a ping pong ball in the water, the ping pong ball just kind of goes straight, you know? No, no, no. That's not how it works. You're looking at two dimensions. What's happening 3D in the river? 3D. Here's what's happening. It's like a screw. It's like a helix. The water is just like you screw a screw into wood or into a piece of metal or a bolt into steel. You know how it goes in a circle? So it's a helix. So the water coming down the river is moving like that. So that helical motion makes the river want to do this, makes it want to be like a serpent. So you had one of those cut banks down at the what we call Lunkin Airport. If you go onto Google Maps right now and you type in Lunkin Airport, Cincinnati, Ohio. Lunkin Airport is located right in the center of where the Ohio River used to be. Because what you're going to see if you go to the topo map mode, you're going to see this huge, wide river valley. But there's this tiny little river in it called the Little Miami River. I mean, tiny, tiny, tiny. And you're going to go, what the hell? How could the flippin' Little Miami River Valley create this big river? No, it didn't. Because for 1,000,000 years or so, the Ohio River created that. And so the Ohio River turned right at Lunkin Airport, went up, then it kind of turned left over Fairfax, had another turn, went through Norwood, went over to where I-75 is in St. Bernard. I know this means nothing to you, but you can see it all on the map. And then it turned north and it went right up I-75 through Sharonville, whatever. Then it turned left again, went over to Hamilton, and then it went south in the current valley of the Big Miami River. And then it eventually came down back to where it is, back over towards the Indiana state line. All right. The big Continental Glacier comes. Bulldozer completely fills all that in, and it creates a big lake. And the Ohio River's like, what the hell? We can't go north anymore at Lunkin Airport. So it cuts a new channel. So the current river channel from where Lunkin Airport is down to Viva, Indiana, down to where the flipping casino is. I can't remember the casino. I'm not a casino guy, but there's a casino right there at the Indiana-Ohio border. So that whole section of the Ohio River is new. It's only been there for like 600,000 years. All right. Guess what? There were no factories. There were no cars. There were no diesel buses and trucks. No power plants spewing CO into the air. None of this, none of this. So you tell me, this is a rhetorical question. You tell me, how much climate change does it take to create that much ice and then melt it and then do it again 4 times? How much? Idiots. 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 This is a prime example of 2 things. Number 1, how powerful propaganda is, because, if you do you have any kids? So, if your kids or a friend, if a friend of yours lies to you enough times, I mean, just keeps repeating a lie, you eventually might think that it's true. You might go, "Well, they've said it 100 times, it must be true." So if you hear, "Oh, the oceans are gonna rise and kill you," and then a couple fear with it, couple fear, like, "Climate's changing, got bad news for you in 12 years." Well, now it's 11 years. 11 years from now, you're gonna be dead. Sorry. Too bad. Too bad. You're gonna be dead. We're taking away your life. Sorry. So that's what the flippin' idiot AOC said. How could a person like that get elected? Hi, Jimmy. So anyway, the whole bottom line is, the Green New Deal is a great example of how you need to stop trusting what you hear from anybody and go, "Okay, I'll listen to you. But if you don't mind, I'm going to go check it out." I'm going to go check it out. I'm going to go see. All right. So you don't want to look. You don't want to listen to the scientists, who are saying, you've got all these scientists like, "Oh, climate change. It's oh, 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 oh." Where do the scientists get their money? Do you know anything about that? Why don't you know about this? Why don't you know about this? What is wrong with you? I don't mean to be scolding you, but we need to wake everybody up. It's crazy. They get grant money, all right? They get money given to them by free. How many times have I told you on this live stream to read Dr. Cialdini's book? It's called Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion. Here's the link. How many times have I told you to read this book? It's got to be 50 times over the past 6 months. You are being played. You're being played all the time, every day. Every day you are being played. You're being played by the local furniture store. You're being played by your supermarket. You're being played by Dr. Fraudchi. That's his name, actually, Dr. Fraudchi. A lot of people mispronounce it. They call him Dr. Fauci. No, no, it's Dr. Fraudchi. All right. You're being played by all of your leaders. You're being played. All right. And they use psychology. It's in that book. Go read the flipping book. Jennifer, who came to this live stream about a month ago, read it. I emailed her privately. It's already changed her business. She's already making more money. So psychology is used on you every day to get more money out of you. All right. And there's like 6 primary psychological triggers in every human being. You may not think they're there, but they're there. The easiest one to trip is reciprocity. Reciprocity is here's an example of reciprocity. Your lawnmower breaks, and you're really friendly with your next door neighbor. You're really friendly. You can't start your lawnmower. You got to cut the flipping lawn today. So you go over to your neighbor and you go, "Look, Bob." Well, I'll just use Frank, because Frank and I are buddies. I go to Frank. "Frank, can I borrow your flipping lawnmower? I can't get mine started. I didn't listen to Tim Carter. I know he told me how to make sure my lawnmower would start every time, but you know what? That guy's a flipping dolt. All he cares about is money." And I know now I have to pay the repair guy $100 to fix my mower, but too bad about that. I don't care. I'm having fun today. Uh, so Frank says, "Sure, absolutely. Take my lawnmower. Go ahead, cut your grass." Mine starts every time because I do what Tim says. All right. I always keep my gas tank filled with high octane gasoline that has stabilizers in it. Every time I use my lawnmower, as soon as I'm done with my lawnmower and I take a drink or drink a beer, I immediately go out to the garage and I fill the gas tank to the brim. Oh my gosh. I thought I blocked this person. Um, I thought I blocked this person. Report, um, pornography. Yes. Here, hold on a second. All right. So there we go. So I'm trying to get rid of this this person here. Let me just hang on here. Hang on. All right. Hold on. I'm trying to get rid of Mr. Bad. Mr. Bad, pornography guy. Hold on, because I don't have a moderator here today. Will's not here. Lorraine's not here. Steve's not here. I don't have any uh, all right, so I'm trying to remove two. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. All right. Can't get rid of it for some reason. Actually, I'll have to report again. Let me just do this. Hold on. Then you got to remind me where I was. All right, hold on. I almost got rid of it. See, I need a moderator. All right, got it. All right. So I don't know where I was. So reciprocity. So the grant people. So the scientists, they get money. They get grant money given to them. All right, just like Frank gave me his lawnmower. Well, let me go back to Frank and the lawnmower. Here's the mistake that can happen. Hello, Al. As soon as I put my hands on the handlebar of Frank's lawnmower and I start pushing it over to my yard, I'm done. It automatically trips in my head the reciprocity switch. And Frank knows this. See, Frank understands this. Frank's like, in his mind, as soon as I ask Frank to borrow his lawnmower, in Frank's mind, he's going, oh, this is fantastic. I've always wanted to borrow Tim's chainsaw. I don't have a chainsaw. I've always wanted to borrow Tim's chainsaw. Tim's got that great Stihl chainsaw. Right, so Frank says, absolutely, man. Take it. Go. Have fun. Have a blast. And don't fill it with gas. I'll take care of it because I got much better gas than you got. Don't. So after you're done with it, just bring it back. Don't. As soon as I put my hands on the lawnmower, flips the switch in my head, because when Frank comes to me 2 months later and says, hey, could I borrow your chainsaw? I remember that, oh, shit. I borrowed his lawnmower. I really don't want to lend him my chainsaw, but I got to. I've got to give it. I've got to reciprocate. Idiots! It happens to you all the time. Don't eat that piece of cheese or sausage at the end of the toothpick in the grocery, you idiot. Soon as you pick that thing up and put it in your mouth, you feel obligated to buy one of those pieces of sausage or the cheese bar. What do you think buy one, get one free is all about? Jesus Christ. All right. So when the scientist, the earth scientist, gets the flipping $100,000 grant from the liberal think tank, and they kind of say, like, boy, and the scientist needs this money to keep in business because the pay he gets from the flipping university doesn't really support what he wants to do. You tell me what you think his numbers are going to be. Nothing about this is hard. All right. So let's go back to this and I'll be done with it. Here's the cool thing about geology. So the rocks don't lie. Here, you come here to New Hampshire, I can take you on an all-day field trip of incredible evidence of the last Continental Glacier. It was only here just 15,000 years ago. I can take you up to Route 104 at exit 23, which is just like 6-7 miles from my house, maybe 8 miles. Just on the west side of the expressway, I mean, literally only 200 feet away, is a hill that's 50 feet higher than the expressway. And the top of the hill is 250 feet higher than the river valley that's a half mile away, the Pemigewasset River. Are you understanding this? The top of the hill is 250 feet above the current river valley. You know what the hill's made out of? This ultra fine sand. I've got photos of it. I'll show it to you. How did the sand get there? The sand was at the bottom of a flipping river, probably the size of the Mississippi River. Just 13,000 years ago. Are you understanding this? Dump trucks did not come and bring that sand there. How much climate change does it take to melt a glacier 3,000 feet thick, make it go back 3,000 miles in just 4,000 years? Have you done that math? Stop believing these flipping idiots out there, for God's sakes. Hi, Bob. Right. Yeah. Well, Jimmy, the reason Antarctica, you have to also tie in that plate tectonics. All right. So we could talk about geology all day long. So, in other words, where Antarctica is now is not where it used to be in relationship to the equator. All right. So it's all plate tectonics. All right. So continental drift, blah, blah, blah. All right. So anyway, back on track about lithium ion batteries. It's all a scam. All right. It's all a flipping scam. It's all a flipping scam. Oh my gosh. Do you mind if I eat breakfast while we talk? If I take a bite of my cereal, there won't be any conversation. So anyway, if you got any questions about your house, ask them. All right. So go ahead and ask any questions you want. It can be about continental drift. I don't care what it is. It's just that you need to, if you've not woken, if you have not woken up yet, you need to wake up. And if there are others around you who have not woken up, they need to wake up. I mean, it's so horrible what's going on. And this whole battery thing is just one part of it. You have to, I'm telling you, go up in the chat where I've got that link I put in, go.timcarter.com/Cialdini. Go get that book. That book is going to save you so much money because it's going to allow you to put up your defenses so that when people try to use the psychology on you, you're going to go, wait a minute, I know what's going on. It's the whole thing with the shamdemic. The whole shamdemic was just this huge, it was the biggest psychological operation, PSYOP. So if you're in the military, you know what that means, a PSYOP. It was the biggest PSYOP ever in the history of the world. And man, it worked. I mean, all of the people in power, it gave them a warm tingle up their leg. I mean, big time. Here's an example of how it works. All right. So for I'll give you the one of the most powerful psychological trigger results. It's called social proof. All right. Social proof. Here's an example of social proof. Okay, so I'm going to apologize up front for my stupid voice. Hi, I'm Cindy, and this Klein flashlight saved my life. It helped me get safely from my dark car into my apartment. Hi, I'm Jack. My Klein flashlight, it's the best. The batteries last forever. Hello, I'm Frank. I'm an IT guy, and let me tell you, this Klein flashlight, it's got a really smart microchip in it that will save you money. That's social proof, all right? You see it all the time on television commercials, right? Why do you think they do that? Here's why. Because after about the fourth person, you go, Jesus Christ, I got to get one of those flipping Klein flashlights. Are you kidding me? They're amazing. Look at all those people. Amazing. Amazing. Woo. Take my money. I am. All right. That's social proof. So, what happened 2 years ago? All of a sudden, you see all these people wearing masks. And you go, masks? What do they know that I don't know? What do they know? What's the deal? Maybe I should be putting a mask on. Maybe they know something I don't know. Idiots! Social proof. All right, so now the most powerful of all of the psychological triggers. This one is so powerful, it will explain everything to you. Once again, it's in the book. It's in the book. All right. Scarcity. All the men who are on the live stream today, they know how powerful scarcity is. Yeah. Ladies, you want to get something done around the house? Make yourself scarce. All right. Nothing hard. There's nothing hard about this. All right. Scarcity. Why do you think we waterboard prisoners? Oh, you need oxygen? You need oxygen? Oh, the water's getting in the way of the oxygen? Ah, sorry about that. Just tell us what we need to know and we'll let you have some oxygen. Here's an example of scarcity in your world. All right. The sale is going to end tonight at midnight. The sale's going to end. You're not going to be able to save 20%. All right. That's so easy. Like, right. So how many times have you succumbed to that? Oh my God, the sale price. So what are they doing? What are they taking away from you? They're taking away money. Because when they say the sale is going to end at midnight, it means, well, if you don't buy today, tomorrow we're going to take an extra 20% from you. If you want to buy this thing, you're going to pay more. We're going to take more of your money away from you. I mean, you see it in commercials all the time. Like I see this big national gutter guard company. I'm not going to say who they are. Advertising on TV, they say, oh, if you don't use our gutter guards, you're going to have all kinds of foundation damage. You're going to have all kinds of mold and mildew. All right. So in your brain, you're smart enough. You compute that. You go, oh my God, foundation damage. That means I'm going to have to take away money out of my savings account to pay to get my foundation fixed. That's scarcity. So how was scarcity used on you the last 2 years? You're going to die. This invisible thing you cannot see, it's going to kill you. It's going to kill you. You're going to die. We're going to take your life away from you. Idiots. Idiots. I see him. I just went to the grocery store yesterday. People wearing cloth masks. Have you ever taken your, I don't want to gross yet. Can you see that? Can you, I don't know if you can see that. So this is my t-shirt. I'm looking at it. Looking through the window. It looks like a screen door. I'm serious. Take your blouse or your t-shirt and hold it up to the light. It looks like a miniature screen door, right? You see all these cross hatches of threads, and you see these holes. The hole's big enough to put a human hair through, right? I mean, seriously, I can easily, I wish I could show that to you. I could easily put a piece of my hair through those holes I'm seeing. So the illness, all right? Have you not done this research? Didn't you do this 2 years ago? How big is the death particle? The death particle of this word. Remember that word? I don't say it on here. The illness particle, all right? That's supposedly floating around in the air. How big is it? Are you serious? Are you telling me you never checked that out? Well, I'll tell you how big it is. You can fit 900 of them on the side by side on the width of a human hair, on the width of one of your hairs. 900 of them. It's a fact. This is not disinformation. This is not misinformation. It's a fact. And you think your flipping cloth mask is going to protect you? What the hell is the matter with you? That's what you need to be saying to these people. I saw 10 or 20 of these idiots yesterday at the grocery store. I wanted to go up and just shake them. Like, idiot. Idiots. Elaine, were your friends, how old were your friends? Were your friends obese? Were your friends smokers? Did your friends have all kinds of other comorbidity issues? And let me ask this question. And I'm not trying to jump on you, did you look at the flipping mortality rate of the illness? You did. I mean, this was put out by the unreliable CDC. Did you see what the mortality rate was? It was only 0.1% worse than the common flu. What happens? Go back 3 years ago. Who were the people that would die from the flu? We had tens of thousands of people a year die from the flu. Who were they? Old people. Your friends that passed away, Elaine, were they out in the sun a lot? Were they in a nursing home? Were they low on vitamin D? I mean, I could go on and on and on. No, Elaine says, no one said masks protect you. They protect others from you, is what they said. Who's the they? They are liars. Use common sense. They protect others from you. Are you kidding me? If you have a cloth mask on and you cough and you do have the illness, the cloth, I told you, it's insanity. All right. Yes, exactly, Jimmy. Well, Elaine, guess what? The flu kills young people too. It's called natural selection. The numbers bear it out that this was a shamdemic. I'm sorry that people passed away. I had it. I was very sick. I could have passed away, but Kathy saved my life. It's all on my website. All right. I'm not saying it wasn't real. I'm just trying to tell you that was used as a tool to control you. All right. Simple as that. All right. So I already know that, but the numbers don't bear it out, and the truth is and also a bunch of the people that were in the hospitals, they were executed, just so you know. I know that sounds crazy, but they were executed. Don't believe me? Go to, go read here's somebody who was on the front lines. Don't believe me? Go watch Erin. She was in New York City, the flipping epicenter. Go open up your freaking mind. Correct. Kathy did not have that big life insurance on me. All right. All right, I'm done with it. I'm done with I'm done. It's never been about it's all about the jab. That's all it is. It's always been about the jab. It's always been about the jab. Oh my gosh. Um, and it's Kathy with a K, just so you know. All right. So anyway, um, sorry, I just I don't know. I'm hesitating because I'm so disappointed in people. That's all. I'm so disappointed. I just am so disappointed. Yeah, and that's to Jimmy's point. If you've not read Mickey Willis's book, Plandemic, for the love of God, go read. And if you did you not see what happened in the news? Did you not see what's finally coming out? It takes a while for come out. Are you aware of this? Everybody knows about conflict of interest, right? Conflict of interest. What Here's what's in the Plandemic book, just so you know. In the Plandemic book and in the Plandemic movie, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of patents over the past 10, 15 years or so for COVID, done by the National Institute of Health, our government agency. Patents. And did you know, I mean, this is really important. Did you know you're not allowed to patent anything that is in nature? All right. Do you understand that? And to put this into perspective for you, this is why the tobacco companies and the drug companies are against hemp, because the positive benefits that many people get from natural hemp, from the CBDs or whatever, all those things, they cannot patent that and then make money charging you for it. Meaning you should be able to grow your own hemp and your own stuff to heal yourself. No, 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 man. Why do you think that's illegal? Start using your flipping brain. What did the Indians do before John D. Rockefeller? You know all about this, right? What? You don't know about this? Are you serious? What do you do each day? What do you do with your free time? You didn't know that John D. Rockefeller was the one who invented Big Pharma? Are you serious? Shame on you. Shame on you. You didn't know that John D. Rockefeller took ownership and funded all of the medical schools back in the early 1900s? Are you serious? You didn't know that? Because then he could indoctrinate the young doctors to use modern drugs made from his oil. Wait a minute. Are you serious? You didn't know that modern drugs were made from oil? Are you serious? What other stuff don't you know? Did you know that John D. Rockefeller bought the newspapers and And then he started a propaganda propaganda, have you ever heard of that word? He started a propaganda campaign to make anybody who did homeopathic medicine out to be a lunatic. Idiots. Hello, Louise. So anyway, it's all in pandemic. So anyway, now I'm gonna get back on track. You're not allowed to patent anything that's natural. So why are there so many patents for COVID? Must not be natural. And then, are you aware of the international how it's illegal internationally? It's a war crime to make a bioweapon. Illegal to do that. All right. So is it illegal to make COVID and use it as a bioweapon to release it? And so, did you see the story last week? Finally broke. I mean, it's been in pandemic for a couple of years, but most people they're too busy playing on their flipping phones. I don't know what people do. I don't know what. $350 million. This is a fact. All right, I'm not making this up. Go look it up. Big Pharma paid in royalties to the NIH in royalty payments $350 million to the NIH between 2010 2020. Dr. Fraudchi, he got 23 payments. And a bunch of the other scientists got some. Does that upset you? Do you in other words, why would do you think Dr. Fraudchi would want to talk about stuff to do that might make him more money? You've been played, man. You and billions of other have been played like a flippin' fiddle. And what's up with that? Why? This is how messed up everything is. Tell me if this upsets you. Are you angry that your tax dollars go to fund the National Institute of Health? So the scientists that work there are being paid by you. They do work each day. They file a patent and then they get royalties on that patent and the money goes to them, not you. Are you upset by that? Don't you think if not, don't you think you should be? I'll tell you what. You better flipping wake up, man. You better flipping wake up. I Elaine, where can you show me in the budget where $1 billion plus is given to Catholic Church? You need to show me that. I mean, if you're going to make a statement like that, and I love you to death, you need to back it up. All right. So back it up. Go give me the link. Give me the link and show me or send it to me in email. I don't care. Show me in the budget where the federal government gives the Catholic Church $1 billion. And then I'm going to challenge you and go, well, if they're giving the Catholics $1 billion, how much are they giving the Methodists and the Presbyterians and the Jews and the Muslims and all the other people? How much are they giving them? I mean, why would they just give the Catholics $1 billion? All right. So, anyway, simple as that. All right. No one's asking questions about their house, or if you did, I've missed them. So I'm going to go back up and look. All right. Harbor Freight does of course they do. All right, that's how Harbor Freight. It's for assistance to the needy. Well, why don't they just why don't they stop giving it to Catholics and just give it to the welfare system? And besides, that's a straw man argument anyway, just so you know. Yeah, you have to no straw man arguments allowed and Ask the Builder. No, no straw man. All right. If you don't know what a straw man argument is, go look it up. All right. So that may work with other people. It doesn't work with me. I always try to stay on topic. All right. So, all right, I'm going to go. It's a beautiful day. We haven't any questions about houses. So since there's no questions about houses, I'm out of here. Seriously, a lot of people don't understand what a straw man argument is, and it just throws them off. I mean, you're just I wish I knew all this stuff when I was in my 30s. All right, just so you know, I wish I just oh my gosh. But the bottom line is, you need to stop being played. You're being played big time. You really are, and you may not think you are. And you argue, oh no, Tim, I'm not being played. Not me. Not me. And I'll just end with this. Stop believing anything you hear from the media. Okay? Stop it. Stop it. I'm a member of the media. I'm a member of the working media. Stop it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, last thing. If you've not seen the movie, it's only been out for a week or so, 2,000 Mules, go watch it. 2,000 Mules. All right, I'll put it in here. Go watch this movie. Go watch the movie. It's going to completely piss you off. All right. Yeah. So it's not so much be confused, but well, no. Actually, Elaine, that's a great question or a great comment. I'm saying don't trust the media. All right. So here's an example in my world. You can go, there's all kinds of bloggers. There's maybe 10 or 15, maybe 20 now. Could be more. They are hobby bloggers. They're doing it just as a hobby. And they just do tool reviews. So I don't have a tool up here. You know, I don't have a so they'll and there was this one guy that I'm not going to tell you who he was. I'm not going to tell you. There was this one hobby blogger who had a pretty successful tool site about 7-8 years ago. He has never worked a day in his life on a job site. You listen to what I'm saying? He's never worked a day in his life on a job site. He's not a professional tool user, in other words. He does not reveal that to you on his website. And what he'll do is, because I know when the tools are delivered. I know because we all get them at the same time. In other words, he would, if UPS shows up at 1:00 in the afternoon at my house and says let's say it shows up at his house at 1:00 too in the afternoon. By 3:00 in the afternoon, I'm sorry, 3:00, not 4. I feel like William Shatner. By 3:00 in the afternoon, he's already got a review posted on his website about how great this tool is. Are you understanding me? In just 2 hours, he takes all these photos, writes all this information, puts it up on his website so that he's the first person to review this tool. How much can you test the tool in 2 hours? And if you've never even used tools, if you're not using professionally, how do you really know how to compare one tool to another? All right, and so then you have to understand also, a person could be in a weakened state, even somebody like me. Someone could be in a weakened state financially. A company come and make a pretty lucrative offer and say, look, Tim, we need you to say some pretty good things about our tools, man. will keep giving you that 50 grand a year, to buy those banner ads on your website. You don't think that's happening? So you have to take everything with a grain of salt. I would like to think that of all of my peers, tell the truth all the time. All right. I don't succumb to the public relations stuff. All right. So, but the point I'm just trying to make a point that when it comes to politics and all this other stuff, it's all Game of Thrones and business. It's all about money. I've said this so many times. It's only about three things. There's only three things that control what you hear: money, power, and sex. Those three. And they could be sex, money, power. It could be in any kind of order. All right. So that's all that's happening. Nothing about this is hard. All right. So that means that when you hear something, when you hear something from now on, you just have to stop and go, what does this have to do with power, sex, or money? How are those three things tied into this news story? Well, Elaine, you say here's okay, that's a great point. That's a great point. Elaine, all right, so this is a great point. Do you believe that? Do you believe that there was only one bed because of the number of people with the illness? And I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to say, why do you believe that? Actually, let's just play a little game here before I leave. Let's play a game. Why do you believe? First of all, do you believe that? Do you believe that to be true? Yes or no? This is a great example. Do you believe it? Listen to me. I'm not trying to yell at you. Do you believe that what you just typed is true? Yes or no? Just put a Y or an N. That's all. Yes. All right. All right. Okay. And you already answered the sex question. You believe her because she saved your life. All right. Elaine, did you know that every single hospital in America that admitted a patient into the hospital that said the patient had COVID, did you know that they got like $15,000 per patient? Did you know that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Did you know that? Did you know that they got about 15 grand? Every single person from the federal government. Yes or no? Did you know that? Yes or no? Nothing about this is hard. If you say no, that's okay. Did you know they got paid over $10,000 for every single patient they admitted that said they had COVID? Yes or no? I don't care about the cost per day. Okay. Do you know how much money each hospital got from the federal government for putting them on a ventilator? Do you know that? Yes or no? While you're typing, I'll take a bite. Oh, okay. About 35,000 bucks. Does your neurosurgeon know that? Why don't you ask those questions to your neurosurgeon? Do you think the hospital's got a conflict of interest? Do you think the hospitals in New York City were grabbing homeless people and bringing them in and saying that they had COVID? Would you believe a nurse that saw it done? Oh, go here. That's a great question. So, Elaine, go there. Go watch all of Nurse Erin's videos. All right. It's actually a wonder this woman's still alive. Can't believe she didn't get killed. Can't believe she wasn't killed. So Elaine, you're a great example. You're a great example of only getting part of the information and believing it. And do understand that the hospitals, um, ask your neurosurgeon that if you go against, if you didn't believe in the shamdemic and you went against what they said, would you lose your privileges at the hospital? Ask her that. So anyway, just I don't think you have I don't think you see, and this, once again, I've said this many a time on the live stream, because I've been an expert witness for 25 years. So in my business, in the expert witness business, we have a saying, a half truth is a whole lie. I mean, you understand that, right? Half truth is a whole lie. If you've got kids, or if you had kids, you understand that. Kid does something wrong, you ask them, what the hell happened? And they only give you part of the story. They don't tell you everything. All right. That's why when I'm on the witness stand or in a deposition, I have to say, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right. All right. So for example, Elaine, I think that you and millions of other people's, the hospitals and the federal government have not been transparent about telling you about where all those trillions of dollars went. That's all. In other words, if you knew that each hospital is getting 50 grand, if you were the administrator of the hospital, the head person of the hospital, would you be tempted to start reporting that a lot of people had COVID? Because your hospital was just barely making a profit? You tell me. In other words, is every single bed like in your example, only one bed was given to the neurosurgeons? How much money was each bed making in that hospital from the neurosurgeons each day? I mean, this is why grocery stores do this. Is all of this, nothing about this is hard. Why do you think grocery stores only put certain things on certain shelves? Why do you think you can't find this one product in your grocery store? It's because you don't own a flipping grocery store. Because each flipping square inch of shelf space on a grocery store needs to make so much profit, or they're going to go get something else that will make that profit. So if you were a hospital administrator and each bed on average, each patient is only making 12 grand a day, which you can figure out, by the way, nothing about this is hard. Go get the flipping numbers from your hospital. Go get their flipping income statements. That's all public record. Go do the flipping math. How much money they take in each day? How many beds do they have? And then if all of a sudden, let's just pick the number. Let's say they're getting 12 grand a patient. Now they can get 50 grand. You tell me what you would do if you were the administrator. Nothing about this is hard. All right. Oh my gosh, a swinger sex group. Yeah, I don't know, Jimmy. I don't know about that. All right, I got to go. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm going to go finish working in the garage. I've also got to write a quick column. I detest having to do self-checkouts in a store. The whole the whole self-checkout thing is more to make more money at the store. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Well, anyway, you have a good day too, Elaine, and have a really heart-to-heart talk with that neurosurgeon of yours. Unfortunately, they were indoctrinated by the John D. Rockefeller School of Medicine. Elaine, if you've not read the Plandemic book by Mickey Willis, for God's sakes, get it. Plandemic. I'll put it right here. I'll type it in. Go get this book. get to avoid it until next year. I got it. Yeah, I know that's a good thing. All right. Go read that book. That book will completely. What's really interesting is you actually may wake up your neurosurgeon. She might not even realize she's been indoctrinated. Fran, no, I am not on a podcast. I don't do podcasting. Well, I used to, but I stopped doing it because there's no money in it for me. And I would just do home improvement podcast. Every now and then I go off the rails. Like today, Saturday morning, I went off completely off the rails about 40 minutes ago. It all started with climate change. I'm a geologist. This whole Green New Deal stuff is a bunch of garbage. The climate's always been changing. We have nothing to do with it, blah, blah, blah. It's all on my website. Go to askthebuilder.com and type in climate change. Well, that's good for her. She's smart. But seriously, get the Plandemic book. Yes, Fran, you can review the entire session. What happens, I'm about ready to end the stream. As soon as I end the stream, YouTube will process it, and it gets curated as a permanent video on my Ask the Builder channel. So if you go to youtube.com/askthebuilder altogether, I think at the top you'll see videos and anyway, you'll see the live stream. And what the title of this live stream is about, it's called Super Thanks. That's the because I talked about a new feature. So anyway, so anyway, so yes, it's curated. And Fran, if you need help finding it, you can email me, and I'm happy to give you the link to it. So my email's so simple. My name, Tim. My website is Ask the Builder, and it's .com, right? So that's really, really simple. So anyway, but Fran, if you're interested in what I was talking with Elaine about how the whole shamdemic, how everybody's been played, go order from Amazon right now, the Plandemic, and actually, go watch this movie. This is go watch this flippin' movie right now. This movie is going to make you so unhappy. And this movie goes so quick. You have to watch that movie about 4 times, maybe 5 times to get everything out of it. And you just have to understand, you and billions of other people have been played big time. Big time. All the information that you get, both from mainstream media and from the big tech services, is all manipulated. And I know that for a fact because I've been on the internet since 1995. In other words, I'll just say this really quickly, then I'm out of here. When you do a Google search, and what like 90% of all searches are done through Google, it's a very high percentage. When you do a Google search on, I don't know, let's just pick a topic. I don't know, deck rail posts. All right, deck rail posts. And generally, just so you know, here's the statistics. Most people, like very high percentage of people who are searching for stuff online, and Google knows this. You do understand that everything that you do online is tracked, right? And even if in Chrome you use an incognito window, they still see your behavior. They may not know who you are. Maybe it's incognito. Fine. But here's what Google knows. Google knows that most people, only click the top 3 things in a search, and then they're gone. They don't go to the next page. They don't go to page 3. They don't keep looking down through it. Only a very small percentage of the people have that persistence. So if you were Google, a publicly traded company that is obligated by law to make the most amount of money for their stockholders, what would you do? Do you understand what I'm saying? You would put into the top 3 results that come back the things that make Google the most amount of money. If you had a personal ideology at Google and you didn't want people to see the other side of an argument for whatever reason, would you put the other side of the argument in the top 3 search results? Of course you wouldn't. That's what fascism is, just so you know. All right. So anyway, all All right, so go watch the Plandemic movie. Here it is again. Go watch this movie. Elaine, send that link to your neurosurgeon. Seriously. Send that link to your neurosurgeon. Crazy. All right. Better wake up. Better get everybody woken up. And then go watch this movie. You were all played. All of us were played. It was horrible. Go watch the 2000 Mules movie too. Everybody who said there's no proof of election fraud, they're a bunch of idiots. Bunch of flipping idiots. And if you have any thought whatsoever of doing anything bad, leave your cell phone at home. You understand that? Leave your cell phone at home. You do realize that your cell phone every few seconds pings. It pings the cell towers. Right? You knew that, right? Did you know that? Did you not know that? Oh yeah, Fran, here's the Plandemic thing. This is the second one. This is the better of the two. The first Plandemic movie, the first one was a lot about Dr. Mikovits. You know, she's the one who blew the lid off all this. Thank God she did. But what's so good about this movie here, the second one, understand that the first 3 or 4 minutes of what you watch was a simulation that happened 5 months before this was announced, the illness, a simulation. And then I'm telling you, you and billions of other were played like a flipping fiddle, like Charlie Daniels plays the fiddle. You better wake up, and you better get everybody around you to wake up. All right, I'm out of here. I had a lot of fun today going off the rails. I love talking about climate change. It's real, but we don't have anything to do with it. Man has nothing to. This is the last thing I want to say about climate change. All right. So actually, I'm going to go show you my column. I'm going to give you my column because you got to see the picture. You got to see this picture. I don't. Come on. Daggone it. All right. So you got to understand that my college degree, I'm a geologist. All right. I'm trying to bring up this link. Here we go. So Fran, if you're going to love this. So read this column. Elaine, you too, if you have a chance, if you've not read this column of mine. All right. It's Judy Mikovits. Let's see, Judy. I think this is it. It's watch the Plandemic movie. She's right in it. You'll see her in there. Elaine, it didn't. Yeah, I know. Well, earthquakes. I could talk about that for hours. All right, earthquakes. All right. So anyway, okay, Fran, no problem. I love you too. I don't even know you, but I love you. Not romantically. Not romantically. That's only for Kathy. All right. So, anyway, and I love Elaine too. Sometimes Elaine and I disagree. That's okay. It's okay to disagree. It's okay. All I wanted to say about the climate change is just so. Here's the most important thing you need to understand. So the climate change people for years have used the Athabasca Glacier in Canada, up in the ice fields, as one of their poster childs. All right, like, oh, the glacier is melting. Oh. All right, well, go to that page I just put up there, and here's the page again. So go to this page. You'll see a photograph of the Athabasca Glacier. I took the photo. I was there like 10 years ago. All right, the Athabasca Glacier is this tiny, tiny little glacier. I mean, tiny. I mean, it's like maybe a half a mile wide, if that. Maybe it's 5 miles long. I don't know. Maybe it's 200 feet thick. All right, so it's a tiny glacier. So when you go there, what's really cool is right off the main road, they got these signs, almost like headstones in a graveyard. And there's a date on the sign. And so it goes back to, like, I don't know, 1910 is where the sign is. That's where the toe of the glacier was in 1910. And then it's like 1913 and 1918 and 1950 and blah, blah, all the way up to now. All right. So you know how far the glacier retreated in 100 years? Not even a mile. It's a tiny glacier, right? Not even a mile. Back 13,000 years ago, the glacier here in New Hampshire, well, covered all of North America. Remember, the Athabasca Glacier, probably just 200 feet thick. The Continental Glacier that covered North America here in New Hampshire, covered all of New Hampshire, covered all of New England. It went all the way down to New York City, all right? Covered all of Cape Cod, went all the way out to the continental shelf. Ocean levels were 400 feet deep, but less than what they are now. Anyway, that ice was 4,000 feet thick, 4,000 feet thick. It was melting at a rate of about a quarter of a mile a year. Have you heard that on the news? Why don't you hear that on the news? This is what I've been talking about all day. Why don't you hear about this stuff on the news? That's the whole truth, right? In other words, if the news gives you 5 minutes of telling about how these group of scientists say that the CO2 is higher, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, got it. Then maybe they should give 5 minutes to continental glaciation, right? How come they're not doing that? Stop being played, for God's sakes. I don't want to be a Stepford wife. All right, I'm going to go finish my breakfast. It's nice and mushy. I eat BBs for breakfast sometimes. All right, BBs. That's what I call them, BBs. So you're going to say, what's a BB? Have you ever had grape nuts before? Like, if you have grape nuts and like you pour it out of the box, put a few raisins on it, pour some milk on it, and then like a minute later, take a spoonful. If you make the mistake of chewing them, it's like you're chewing BBs. They're so flipping hard. So if you just let them sit in the milk for 30 minutes, it becomes mush. All right. So you don't have to worry about cracking a tooth. All right. All right. Got to go. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for putting up with me. Only 2 thumbs up. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Did I piss that many people off? Oh my gosh. I cannot believe I didn't get a thumbs up from everybody. Oh my gosh. Make sure you try the super thanks. I don't know that anybody did. I'm going to try it right now. I'm going to try clicking this button down below. And if I blow up the live stream, thanks for being here today. Thanks so much. So if I blow it up and I disappear, that's why. I'm clicking this button right now. So it says show, so I can get a super sticker, send an animated message, super chat, send a highlighted message. So nobody did that. I don't think, because I never saw one. I don't know where. I think the thumbs up button on my screen, it's up the top, Fran. I don't know. I don't know. So finally, we got a few more thumbs up. Jeez, oh, Pete. It's got to be somewhere on your screen. Look around for it. Highlight it. But even still, 6 thumbs up. Are you kidding me? Jeez, oh, Pete. All right. Remember, at the bottom of all my videos on YouTube now, at the bottom is a thanks button. You know, if I saved you money, click the thanks button. All right. You know, what the heck? Simple as that. All right. Got to go. Thanks for being here. Don't worry. The glacier's not coming. The glacier's not going to mow your house down. You got nothing to worry about. Everything's going to be cool. AOC doesn't know what she's talking about. There we go, Elaine. Very cool. See? Oh, thank you for doing that, Elaine. I wanted to see how it worked. Let's see now. Let me see what I can do. Thank you for doing that, because I wanted to see. So it says, okay, got it. All right, that doesn't. So see, that's what happens when you click the super chat. Um, very cool. Thanks so much. That's very interesting to see how that worked. And so, Elaine, that's a great example. If we had done this earlier, that's a great example of social proof. All right. So, because what's going to happen is, unfortunately, it's too late. We'll do it next time. People go, gosh, man, if Elaine can give Tim $1.99, I'm sure I can do it. I look like a fool for not doing it. In other words, that is such a great example of social proof and how it makes. I'm not saying you are, so understand this. I know you're still here. I'm not saying you're a cheapskate, but you have to understand if you've chatted, if you made the mistake and you chatted me and I see everyone who's here and I go, well, heck, why didn't that person give me $1.99? Why didn't, why, well, blah, blah, blah. In other words, I'm just trying to tell you that's a great, great example of social proof. That's why you need to read Dr. Cialdini's book. I'm telling you. Oh, no worries, Elaine. Don't worry about it. I don't you dare worry about it. No, I got it. But I'm just very appreciative. But I just loved it because I just wanted to see how it worked. I've never seen it work. So from my end, it's very interesting. Very, very cool. Very interesting. Don't worry about it. And realize I'm still trying to figure out. It's probably not going to happen now because it's hot weather. We're getting too close to hot weather. I'm going to figure out how to get my butt down to North Carolina in like October. It's still beautiful weather down there. October, probably late October. I just want to come because it's still good weather down there. I don't want to miss the trees here in New Hampshire. So maybe we're going to do a North Carolina Ask the Builder meetup in late October. Maybe. All right. So enough of that. Got to go. Beautiful day here in New Hampshire. Going to be pretty damn hot. Going to be in the upper 80s. We're going to have a day-to-day in New Hampshire that we normally have third week of July. The hottest weather we typically get in New Hampshire's upper 80s. 89 today. So it's going to be warm. Black flies are out. They're flipping wretched. If you don't know anything about black flies, they're horrible. They're horrible. All right. So thanks, Elaine, for doing that. I'm so happy to see what that looks like. Very interesting. All right. Good enough. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for being here today. Sorry I went off the rails, but you know what? That happens. People need to wake up. Elaine, if you have some time, make sure you go to that Nurse Erin website in the chat. So it's Nurse Erin, so 2 E's.org. So Nurse Erin, watch her videos. Everybody was played. Everybody was played. Oh, I'll give you the last example. If you remember early on in the shamdemic, I've said this before, early on in the shamdemic, probably April of 2020, there was a big photograph. Either they took it from an airplane or they did it with a drone. You talk about PSYOPs, all right, psychological operations. This was, when I saw this video, it affected me, all right? And I know what's going on. So here was this photo taken by a drone. And you're looking down at this horrible, like landfill, crappy area right across the harbor opening to New York City. So in the background is the Statue of Liberty in Manhattan and New York. And here's this really crappy place in this ugly, gross black soil. And they dig this trench. And in this trench, they're putting all of these white draped caskets, supposedly. Once again, now remember, there's no proof of it. There's no proof anything was in those boxes. Could have been sandbags. But the image was, here are people dying of COVID in New York City, and we have to bury them in a landfill in this horrible mass grave. Do you understand the psychological implications of that? Do you understand that? I mean, are you telling me they just couldn't go? Look at what we did with our World War II veterans. Go look at the pictures of the cemetery of Normandy, of France, of the U.S. cemetery in Normandy. Are you telling me that just 30 miles away from New York City, that that the government could not buy an acre or two of ground, maybe 3 acres, and bury each person respectfully with their name, with a little tiny headstone? Are you telling me that couldn't happen? Wake the hell up. That's how the psyop. So in other words, they played on you scarcity, like you're going to be next. You're going to die from the illness, and you're going to be put into a flipping mass grave in a landfill with all this garbage near you. That's what's going to happen to you if you don't start listening to us. What, don't you understand how bad you've been played? Don't you remember that photo? Ah, hold on, Fran. One last time, then I'm out of here. Go to that website. Go watch Nurse Erin's videos. Don't you remember that photo? I'm going to find it. I'm going to find that photo. That's all. Seriously, this is what I'm going to say this, then I swear to God, I'll be out of here. This is what upsets me about most people, is that they don't engage their critical thinking skills. You look at do you know what a potter's field is? Every town, most towns and cities have a potter's field. All right. My brother-in-law was a mortician. I know where the potter's field is in Cincinnati. That's where the indigent people are buried. All right. It's a cemetery, like minimalistic. We don't put the flipping homeless people in mass graves. All right. Why would you put COVID people in the United States in a mass grave? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Do you understand this? Do you understand? It's not done. There's never been any mass graves in America, except maybe when we butchered the flipping Native Americans. Wake up. Wake up. Elaine, I'm going to get that photo and I'm going to email it to you. All right. Wake up and start waking everybody else up. That one photo alone is proof to you that the entire thing was a shamdemic. Just that one photo. Because if you were a reporter like me, if you were a journalist like I am, you would go, wait a minute. Wait just 1 minute, Mayor. Like you're interviewing the mayor of New York. I've got a question. Why are we burying these people in a mass grave? We've never done that before. We don't even bury homeless people in a mass grave. Why aren't we putting them respectfully in a cemetery? Here's what the answer would be. We're burying in a mass grave because we want to scare everybody. If he told the truth, we're burying. We did that. Oh, and by the way, I got news for you. Some of those pine boxes that there were just sandbags in it. Sorry. Anyway, we were just doing it for effect. We wanted to scare the heck out of everybody, basically saying this might happen to you. You might be buried in a mass grave. There's not going to be, no one's going to know where you are. Too bad. Sorry about that. So we just did it to scare everybody. Wake the hell up. I don't know, Elaine. I don't know if I agree with that. Gettysburg did not have. I've been to Gettysburg. Probably one of the worst battles, bloodiest battles of the Civil War. Overall, there were 50,000 plus casualties. That meant dead plus injured. The Civil War, Gettysburg had its own cemetery. I mean, that's why President Lincoln went to Gettysburg to give the address to dedicate that cemetery. So I mean, I don't know that I agree with that. You'd have to show me where the mass graves are for. I think that each battle that they buried their dead, and then what happened is a lot of the soldiers that were in the Civil War, they eventually dug up their remains and they brought them back to their state, but they had to bury them right away. But anyway, I don't know. You'd have to, Elaine. You would have to show me those locations. Here's the trouble with me now. I don't believe anything from anybody. I mean, you have to show me the proof. I don't believe what people say. In other words, you have to. I always tell them, even friends of mine. I go, you have to show me the proof. I'm just sorry, not going to believe you. All right. So anyway, I'm going to go look for that photo right now and send it to you. Yeah, Fran, you got a lot to learn. And the whole COVID testing thing is a joke. All right. If Kathy was here, I wish Kathy were here. Kathy would never do this. She would never get on camera. Kathy will tell you why the whole testing thing is completely wrong. That PCR test completely was never even supposed to be used in the environment to test people. It was supposed to only be used in a lab for another purpose. It's a complete flipping joke. Yeah, Fran, lot to I think Fran, you are really going to be woken up by getting the Plandemic book. Go, first of all, watch the movie, then go read the book. Watch the Plandemic movie. It's going to blow here it is again. Oh, no, that's a climate change one. Never mind. I got the wrong one. All right. I am going to be out of here this time. All right. Jack's laughing at me. I'm out of here. Thanks. All right. Got to go. Had a great time. Fran, great to meet you. Elaine, great to meet you. Elaine, I'm going to go find that photo right now and then send it to you. Wow. Great live stream today. All right, Fran, go to my website. If this will really wake you up, go to my website, ask the builder. Actually, I'll just do it for you. I'll just give you the link right now. Hold on. You got to read my column. I had COVID. I'm a survivor. I don't want to say I almost died, but I was pretty sick. My wife, Kathy, saved my life because my doctor didn't do squat for me. My doctor did nothing. I'm never going to him again. I'm done with that guy. I thought he was a good guy, but you know what? He was indoctrinated. So Fran, and oh, here we go. Fran, go read this. Go to that page of my website. Read about my COVID experience, and then more importantly, read the part that Kathy wrote. Kathy wrote a big part of it. She writes how she saved my life. And the good thing is these are all over-the-counter drugs. All right. So you need to be taking zinc, you need to be taking quercetin each day, and absolutely vitamin D. And vitamin D had a big part in it of the people that died, because many of the people that died, like in these nursing homes, they don't get enough vitamin D. I mean, they're not out in the sun, for one. And number two, do you think, when was the last time you know of any nursing home that gives these people supplements? All right. They're not getting enough vitamin D in their food. You have to take a supplement. All right. So anyway, go read about the COVID. I shouldn't be even saying that word. And then go read about how I survived, how I've got the best immunity, and then make sure you watch the Plandemic movie, then get the book. It will completely change your life. And it'll make you angry, because then you're going to see how badly you've been played. You've been played so badly. Oh my God. I'm going to go watch that The Devil Comes Down to Georgia movie with Charlie Daniels to kind of put me in a better mood, because talk about playing a fiddle. I'm going to go watch it right now. All right. Got to go. Thanks for being here today. All right, Fran. You should get on my newsletter list. Go to askthebuilder.com, right on the homepage, sign up for my newsletter. I don't cross the line there too much because I piss so many people off, but I've done it in the past. I do it here. I go off the rails here all the time. Elaine and everybody else will tell you. Elaine, Jack, Jimmy, they'll all tell you I go off the rails. All right, got to go. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I'm going to have a great day, even though it's going to be a little warm outside. I'm Tim Carter. You've been watching Ask the Builder, and I try to tell people the truth here, and I try to tell people to wake up and stop being played. Wake up. All right, bye.